Hello friends, myself Harisankar Prasad Tunde and I am assistant professor and head in the Department of Computer Science, Sant Gahira Guru University, Sarguja Ambikapur. In today's class, we are going to discuss regarding subject mobile computing and application development, and it is a paper of MSc Computer Science 4th semester or MSc Information Technology 4th semester. In this paper, we are going to discuss in today's class toast, menu, dialog, list and adapters, that is unit number 5. And in this particular unit, we are going to discuss the topic Android application priorities. So students, what is the main purpose of this particular video is we are going to familiar about Android application priorities. What is Android operating system and how various types of application priorities is going to be run in the foreground and background processes that we are going to discuss in today's class. So I hope you understand this very well. So let's start with the Android operating system. What is Android operating system? Android operating system is a mobile operating system that was developed by Google to be primarily used for touchscreen devices, cell phones, and tablets. Its design lets users manipulate the mobile devices intuitively with finger movements and that mirror common motions such as pinching, sweeping, and tapping. Google also employs Android software in televisions, cars, and wristwatches, each of which is fitted with a unique user interface. So friends, now we are going to discuss regarding Android operating system. As we all know, we all are having mobiles and smartphones, smart gadgets within ourselves, and various types of operating systems are there in the form of Android operating system. Some are having iOS operating system likewise. So Android operating system is implemented by Google company, as you all know, and it is primarily implemented for touchscreen devices, cell phones, and tablets. The primarily functioning is that with the help of this particular operating system, user is having the ability to perform the task with the help of their finger movements, and this is very important. At that particular time, the fingers will be only applicable with touch screens only, and with the help of these finger movements we can going to perform our task while pinching, sweeping and tapping. So this is very important. So this is a brief description regarding the Android operating system. Now we are going to discuss the Android applications priority and process states. As you all know, every operating system is having its various types of process states, and every operating system also having applications priority processes. So this we are going to discuss in Android applications priority, what is actually happening and how the process states are going to be performed. So what happens in this Android applications priority is so many types of applications are installed in our mobile applications, like video games are there, like browsers are there, like various types of user interfaces in the form of some games are there, various types of applications available in the form of videos are there. Some are having movements with the help of various types of applications which are based on children's, which are based on adults, which are based on senior citizens, like that. Various types of applications are installed. It depends upon the user how they are going to interact with the operating system. So we are going to discuss the priorities, which is having higher priority, which is having lower priority, and which is having less priority. So we are going to discuss regarding this. So in Android application, which processes are killed to reclaim resources is determined by the priority of their hosted application. So as you all know, each and every process is going to be performed with the help of some resources, and that resources are in the form of some input screens, output screens, background processes, foreground processes, in the form of this. So we have to be familiar regarding that. An application's priority is equal to that of its highest priority component. So which application is going to be run, it depends upon the highest priority component. If two applications have the same priority, listen, what happens if two applications have same priority? The process that has been at that priority longest will be killed first. In operating systems theory, concept of operating system theory, if two processes have the same priority, then a priority number is there with the help of which it is going to be decided which priority is going to be run first and which is going to be run secondly. At some times in concept of operating system, if two processes are having the same priority, then first come first serve basis is going to be performed. But it is not so in Android's application. Why? Because if two applications have the same priority, the process that has been at that priority longest will be killed first. So in this way, that particular priority longest is going to be killed first and it is being executed. So process priority is also affected by inter-process dependencies. Inter-process dependencies means two or more processes are going to be dependent with one another with some basics. If an application has a dependency on a service or content provider supplied by a second application, the secondary application has at least as high priority as the application it supports. So friends, we are now familiar regarding the content provider supplied by a second application. So if there are two different applications running in the Android applications or Android mobile phones, then what happens? The secondary application has at least as high a priority as the application it supports to reclaim the particular resources through which the application is going to be executed. So you have to know this very well. So this is a diagram with the help of which we are going to show how many types of processes are there in a Android operating system. So it is depending upon three types of priority, and first one is the critical priority. This is the critical priority. Second one is the high priority, and third one is the low priority. So with the help of this particular three different types of priorities, Android applications are going to be processed. So in the critical priority, active processes is going to be resided. In the high priority, with active processes, visible processes are there, and from these visible processes, started service processes or SSP processes are there. Afterwards, in low priority, background processes are there, and from these background processes, empty processes are there, so that the proper functioning of the application is going to be performed in the Android's applications. So this we are going to study in detail in the later on slides. So first we know what is a critical priority. Critical priority means a priority that is actually needed by the user, or it is currently used by the user with some user interfaces. High priority means the processes which are visible to the particular visible to the applications which are watching by the customers who are having the priority scheduling, or we can say that are going to be visible by the users processes. Started service processes means after, as soon as the foreground processes are going to be performed, it is being used by the user with some priorities at the starting point. So this is the high priority. And low priority means this will be the background processes that is running by the operating systems, so that the high priority and critical priorities that were performed with the help of this low priority. Means background processes are system processes that is used backgroundly to perform the task that is given by the users so that it will be performed permanently. So let's start in detail. What actually are the various types of priorities that are detailed with some user processes that are detailed with some Android applications processing. First one is the active processes. What is active processes, students? Active means foreground processes that have application components the user is interacting with. Means active processes are nothing but these are the application components that are interacting by the user for their performing various tasks. These are the processes Android tries to keep responsive by reclaiming resources from other applications. Means from inter-process communication, if there is any requirement, then these processes are going to responsive by reclaiming resources from other applications. Means when you are using your mobile and you are requesting for some pages in the browser, and that page is coming from outside your handset, then this will be known as the responsive by reclaiming resources. There are generally very few of these processes and they will be killed only as a last resort. So definitely such type of processes are in fewer, very less in quantity, and they will be killed only as a last resort. Active processes include the following. So in detail we are going to discuss. Active processes include the following. First one is the activities in an active state. What is active state? Means the user is going to interact currently is known as the active state. That is those in the foreground responding to user events. Whatever is the application opened by the user is in the active state. You understand this very well, I think. Little bit, na? I think so. Broadcast receivers. What are broadcast receivers? Means executing on receive event handlers, service executing on start, on create, or on destroy event handlers. So as you all know, events are very important. Why? Because it will be opening the process, it will be manipulating the process, it will be ending the process. So with the help of some events, means you are clicking something, you are pinching, you are moving, you are tapping, whatever is the type of request you are performing with your Android applications, that will be in the form of broadcast receivers. So various events are there, like on start. So suppose you are going to start a particular process, then the on start event is going to be performed. Suppose if you are going to type something, you are going to make a audio or video clips, then it will be on create events. And on destroy events means when you are deleting, when you are dropping some particular files, then it will be on destroy event. So all these things are performed with the help of some handlers that are available within the Android operating system, and that is running services that have been flagged to run in the foreground. So this is very important, running services. So all those things which are executing in the current time are running services that have been flagged. So active processes include the following things. If we are going to understand what are the various active processes, then we are going to discuss these points. Activities in an active state, that is those in the foreground responding to user events. Means activities in an active state means those in the foreground responding to user events. So if you are handling a particular mobile and you want to do some responsive things, then it will be in the form of some active states. Broadcast receivers executing on receive event handler. So with this is nothing but suppose anything is coming from outside your mobile, then it will be in the form of broadcast receivers. Services executing on start, on create, or on destroy event handlers means each and every type of services which is performed by the particular applications in the form of some responses. So it will be regarding the event handlers. For example, if you are opening a video file and you are moving here and there but the recording mode is on, then what happens? It is in the form of service executing. Suppose you are going to open a video game and you are playing and you are moving across the rooms, various rooms inside your home, but the game is still running on, then what is that? It will be services executing. Hope you understand very well. Next one is the running services that have been flagged to run in the foreground. Means these are the various types of services that are running in the foreground process, means that is in the front part, so that it will be viewed by the user. So this is the running services. So second type of processes is the visible processes. What are visible processes? Visible means you are watching, you are viewing. This is the visible part. So visible but inactive processes are those hosting visible activities. Visible but inactive processes are those hosting visible activity. Hosting visible activities means, suppose you are organizing something, your mobile is organizing something, so it will be visible activities. Visible activities are visible but they are not in the foreground or responding to user events. So these are visible but not responding by the user. For example, if you are watching a video, watching a movie, listening music, then it will be in the visible format. Clearly? This happens when an activity is only partially obscured by a non-full screen or transparent activity. There are generally very few visible processes and they will be killed only under extreme circumstances to allow active processes to continue. So in this way, we are going to understand visible processes. They are generally very few visible processes and they will be killed only under extreme circumstances. Extreme circumstances to allow activities, to allow active processes to continue, so that the visible processes are going to be killed and the active processes is going to be perform their performances. Third one is the started service processes. What are started service processes? This is very important to know. What are started service processes? Processes hosting services that have been started. Processes hosting services that have been started because these services don't interact directly with the user. They receive a slightly lower priority than visible activities or foreground services. So this particular processes is not going to interact with the user, means user is not going to use it, but indirectly it will be in the active part. So what happens then? They receive a slightly lower priority than visible activities or foreground services. Applications with running services are still considered foreground processes and won't kill unless resources are needed for active or visible processes. Means applications with running services are still considered foreground process. Means when any application is running, then it will be in the form of some foreground processes, but won't be killed unless resources are needed for active or visible processes. So until any requirement comes from the active process or visible process, till that period the applications are running. If it happens, then it will be killed. Understand? Yeah. When the system terminates a running service, it will attempt to restart them unless you specify that it should not when resources become available. So there arises certain situations when the system terminates a running service, it will attempt to restart them. What happens? Suppose any process is running in such a way that it will not responding for a much longer time. Then what happens? You are going to restart the system. So that is the particular, when the system terminates a running service, it will attempt to restart them, and unless you specify that it shouldn't want resources become available, it will be in such cases. So handling such type of cases is the started service processes. Okay. Fourth one is the background processes. What are background processes? Means that are not in the front part, but it will be on the background part, but it actually uses by the user. Processes hosting activities that are not visible and that don't have any running services, means background processes are nothing. These are the system processes, as I have already mentioned. So processes hosting activities that are not visible, these are not seen by the naked eyes, we are not going to use directly it, but that will be running in the background processes. But running for what? Running for helping us, running for helping the active state processes. Listen, okay, this will be correct na? Yeah. There will generally be a large number of background processes that Android will kill using a last seen first kill pattern. Last seen first kill pattern in order to obtain resources for foreground processes. Means there are so many types of processes running backgroundly that Android will deal in the form of last seen first killed. All those processes you have already seen will be killed first. This is the pattern that is in the background processes executing. So next one is the empty processes. To improve overall system performance, Android will often retain an application in memory after it has reached the end of its lifetime. So what happens when any process is started, and definitely at some time it is going to be ended. This will be a natural truth. So to improve overall system performances, Android will often retain an application in memory after it has reached the end of its lifetime. So Android maintains this cache to improve the startup time of applications when they are relaunched. So these processes are routinely killed as required. So empty processes means when a process is started, it must be retained till it is be used by the user, and afterwards it is going to be killed. So with the help of such processes, memory will be released, but it will be in the it will be switched towards the cache memory, and afterwards this is used for the system performance. So these processes are routinely killed as required. So Android kills such type of processes which is over now, so that the required performance is going to be activated and it must be improved one and after. So this is the empty processes. So students, thank you so very much for watching my video constantly and listening my videos constantly. Why? Because in this period of coronavirus, what happens, it is very lack of time we have. We are still spent our time in home, then also you are watching my video. This is a particular major thing for me, and I think I have cleared all the various types of processes that will be in the form of critical priorities, that will be in the form of high priorities and low priorities. And I hope you understood this very well, because you are watching this video carefully, and it will be helpful in the examination point of view, and very soon it must be started, as you are all studying in the fourth semester. So it is very necessary to you all to understand such type of things. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Thank you so very much. And you understand, you are going to watch this, you are going to prepare some notes for this, and if any queries are there, then please ask me. My phone number is in the first slide. Thank you so very much.